All right, question number 6, Dom. I've been running for 2 years. In the beginning, I was hitting a PR in 5Ks. Then my progress stalled. I decided to increase my mileage to get faster. When I increased my mileage, my upper back, hips, knees started to hurt. What's up?
All right, this kind of break this down a tiny bit. So in the beginning, hitting a PR in 5Ks and my progress stalled. The general progression with running is as you do it a little bit more, you tend to get a little bit faster. You become more efficient. It's very simple. So the more you run, the better you become. But that does not necessarily work as you move forward. So there's a few things here with your progress stalling. Number one, is this a cookie cutter program that you found online? And traditionally, most people are following those. Not a bad thing, but it should be more custom to you.
Absolutely.
And your abilities, where you're starting, where you're going. So that's one. Then I question, when I see this here, when I increase my mileage, my upper back, hips, knees started to hurt. Are you moving? Are you moving well? And if the answer is no, then you definitely need to start with that. So maybe your range of motion, you're lacking range of motion in certain places. Maybe you're lacking the strength you need. Maybe it's the stability, mobility. Maybe you can't get a full deep squat in. So you're lacking range of motion somewhere, which is now causing you, once you start to excel and go that longer distance, your body's breaking down. So that's the first thing I would do with this person. Are you in any pain right this minute? No? Okay, let's do a couple movement things. Let's start with an FMS screen, functional movement screen. Let's start with that. I'm going to put them on the ground. I'm going to have them do several exercises that are going to assess range of motion, but I want them to do the stand to sit and sit to stand test.
Sure.
That tells a ton. It really tells a ton. And right then and there, within that first 15 minutes, I'm going to know if this person is lacking range of motion, mobility, etc., and go from there.
And that's the curious thing. People want to move faster. They want to run faster, get PRs, but they can't even move well when they're just walking.
Look, running does not build, quote, end quote, strength. You are not getting stronger. You're not getting more stable by running. Quite honestly, I see a lot of runners can't balance on one leg for 30 seconds.
Sure, or put them on a Bosu ball to get launched off.
Right, they can't stay. So you're not building stability. You're not building strength in running. You need to build that outside of the running, and that's the off running training. And then your running will progress and get better. Especially if you're going to attempt to go, half marathon. You're going to try to get into those distances. You think that pain, you're getting a little bit of pain with that. It's only going to increase. Next question, Doc. This one's for you. I have been doing keto for the last 2 months. I lost 12 pounds. And now the scale is not budging. Also, I am constantly craving carbohydrates. What do I need to do to continue to lose weight?
It's because although keto, you're not injuring yourself. I've seen a lot of people get extremely depressed with all this information that's on the internet, all these pictures of people doing fantastic, and they're not doing great. Get a baseline. With that baseline information, get some consulting, and then you can progress through your goals.
And then they give up that too.
Absolutely. Oh, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
There's really no way it cannot work for you. It will work for you. Maybe it's not the ideal lifestyle choice, but with doing a ketogenic diet, you'll learn some wisdom and see how it works for you. Like, I'm not ketogenic all the time. Sometimes, my wife's a phenomenal cook and she bakes really well. I'll eat what she makes, I'm extremely lenient in social situations too. But I was vegetarian, I was vegan, I was on keto, I was on paleo, I did the South Beach diet, I did all these things to gain wisdom. And that's the purpose of it. So you learn a little bit of wisdom with everything that you do. To wrap it up, we have a question here I think we can both add to, answer. I hear you guys talking a lot about anxiety on your podcasts. I've been struggling with anxiety for several months and do not want to take meds. What other options do I have? And first and foremost, we are not giving you any kind of medical advice. With anything that we talked about today, we are not establishing any kind of patient-doctor relationship. We're just giving you our own personal advice of what we do. We recommend that you do see a medical doctor, you get an exam done prior to going ahead with any kind of the information that we've given out to you. But Dom, how would you answer that? What other options does this person have? What options have you used?
It's a wonderful, wonderful question, and it's there's so many things. So I'm going to speak specifically about what worked for me. I was in therapy for many, many years, psychotherapy for many, many years. Exercise was number one for me, movement. And I say the word exercise because running worked for me. I love to run. If you know me, I love to run. That's my favorite activity. It worked for me. It cleared my mind most of the time. And then I'll never forget my therapist saying, "What are you going to do if you can't run?" I said, "I'm going to be able to run." She said, "What if you get hurt?" Well, she put she put a lot of thought in my head. So I found other ways to exercise when maybe things were bothering me. You know, my knees were bothering me from running. I can swim and I can bike, and certainly lifting in a gym. So that was number one. I've been meditating for many, many years. Meditation has helped me drastically. I also use CBD on a regular basis, and CBD seems to really, really be a great supplement tool for me. My diet. I went ketogenic a year, almost 2 years ago, and if I have triggers that cause anxiety, they don't last as long as they used to.
Sure.
And so that's huge for me. Also, when I'm eating better, I feel better, and I'm exercising better. Everything just falls in line, and I find that you have to do things that help you. So if there's a certain place in the world that you love, and that relieves anxiety for you, go there. Make it a point to get there. Get outside. Get outside and breathe fresh air. Get in the wilderness. Go to the beach. Go to the woods. Do whatever. To me, that helps me.
Yeah, I definitely find that personally as well. Getting outdoors, getting some sunshine. Like today's going to be a cloudy day. I think we're having a nor'easter today. But sunshine definitely helps. So what I use is we have a Juve light here in the office. I have a Juve light at home that I use as well. But a big part of my anxiety is when I start feeling anxious, I try to eliminate any kind of stimulants, which is caffeine. If I'm anxious and I take in some caffeine, that just kind of makes it a little bit worse. I'm not eliminating coffee, but what I do is I try to reduce the dose of the amount of caffeine that I do take that day. I do meditate, I do journal, I meditate daily. I do a guided meditation through Headspace. I write in a gratitude journal daily. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's a phrase, sometimes it's a whole page. But noticing what I'm actually grateful for makes me feel more present, And that's the other thing too, is my mindset. I don't worry about the past, the different situations or things that happened to me in the past. Try to really focus on today, look a little bit in the future, but focus on my task at hand, with the person I'm with, not on my cell phone while I'm trying to talk with somebody or work with a client or a patient. Really be focused on that interaction. I also take CBD. I use Floyd's of Leadville CBD. It comes in a little pearl, which is very effective. The 50 milligrams, you can really feel after a half hour, anxiety goes down significantly. If I'm having an episode and it's kind of building, I'll take a CBD pen. I use a company called BioCBD. I know there's all this bad information coming about with vaping. In our vape cartridge and the CBD, it's basically just pure CBD oil. It's coconut oil, which is an MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride, and then also some essential oils. It's clean, not carcinogenic. Literally just one hit off the vape pen, within 15 seconds, I'm significantly more relaxed. Anxiety is almost completely gone. Also found ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is something that helps down-regulate things. So it helps down-regulate my stress or my anxiety. So it helps me focus a lot more, especially if I have a lot of paperwork to do or I'm working on like a new workshop or a seminar. If I do some CBD and I take some ashwagandha, anxiety goes down. I can focus a lot better. I also found taking magnesium too. That helps down-regulate things as well, so it helps me to relax and chill. But even breathing, box breathing, which is basically breathing in through your nose for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, exhaling through the nose for 4 seconds, and then repeating over and over. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale through the nose for 4 seconds, and repeat. Controlling my breathing also helps a lot, which also is in line with meditating as well. But the thing that you said really important, get outside. We're stuck in these concrete buildings all day. We're exposed to these really horrible lights that are in our buildings too. Get out, get some sun on your face. Great medicine. Anything else to add, Dom?
Movement.
Movement, absolute movement.
You can walk. Everybody can walk. You know, if you don't have a major injury, right? You just came off of surgery or something. Get outside. Even if it's cold, go
Sure.
feel those elements. Go for a 10-minute walk, a 20-minute walk.
Yeah, wake you up.
Wake you up, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you would like more information on our podcast, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. Until next time, train your brain, train your body.